Top 20 Creepiest Abandoned Places Around the World. A look at some of the creepiest abandoned places around the world. In a world full of creepy and mysterious places, take a look at some that are so haunting that they've been completely abandoned. Some are now open to tourists while others remain remote and inaccessible. How many of these would you like to visit? Orpheum Theater, opened on the day Titanic sank, closed its doors in the late 1950s. Akar-Mara, located in the town of Abkhazia, this area was abandoned in the early 90s and is today filled with crumbling uninhabited buildings. Krakow. Situated in southern Italy, Krakow was abandoned after a series of natural disasters towards the end of the 20th century. Hotel del Salto. The luxurious Hotel del Salto was built in Colombia in 1923. The site of several tragic suicides, it is believed to be haunted and was abandoned in the 90s. Poveglia Island. Poveglia is a small island of Italy that was used as a quarantine center for plague victims. Because of this, the island is believed to be haunted and has been used as the subject of many paranormal shows. Monsal Forts. Science fiction-like structures that rise from River Thames in England and were decommissioned in the 1950s. Bodie. Bodie is a ghost town in the USA with buildings in varying stages of decay. Today, it's preserved as a national landmark. Aral Sea Ship Graveyard. Situated between Kazakhstan and Uzbekistan, the Aral Sea is the site of an eerie graveyard of ships. Valley of the Mills. Also in Italy is the Valley of the Mills, an abandoned site of flour mills made from stone that is described as hauntingly beautiful. Aniva Lighthouse. The Aniva Lighthouse was built by the Japanese in 1939 on a rock off the coast of Sakhalin. Now the property of Russia, it is home only to nesting birds. Montserrat Island. This Caribbean island is a British overseas territory that was largely abandoned between 1995 and 2000 following the eruption of the previously dormant Soufriere Hills volcano. It is today a tourist attraction with haunting abandoned houses. Varosha. Entry to the ghost town of Varosha in Cyprus is forbidden. Its inhabitants fled during the Turkish invasion of Cyprus in 1974 and were never allowed to return. It is full of empty streets and buildings overgrown with vegetation. Kalmanskap. Kalmanskap is a ghost town in Namibia set within the desolate landscapes of the Namib Desert. It was a diamond mine site, but the last families moved out in 1956, leaving it abandoned. Xicheng. This eerie underwater city in China is often described as the Atlantis of the East. Xicheng was purposely flooded in 1955 to create Qiandao Lake and is today perfectly preserved underwater. Gunkanjima, officially known as Hashima Island, Gunkanjima in Japan is located 15 kilometers from Nagasaki. It gained notoriety during World War II as a brutal labor camp. There's now an otherworldly feel to this abandoned island. The IM Cooling Tower. Built in 1921, the IM Cooling Tower was once one of Belgium's largest. It resembles something out of dystopian fiction and was completely shut down in 2007. Kiev Metro Tunnels. These tunnels of Kiev lie deep within the city and are seldom maintained. Some are now flooded. Belitz Heilstatten. The 60-building sanatorium was built in 1898 in Germany. It was the site where a young Adolf Hitler was treated for a wound. It now is full of rusting hospital beds and decaying corridors that make for a haunting atmosphere. The SS Airfield. The SS Airfield in Australia is a decommissioned ship that is now referred to as a floating forest. Pripyat. This ghost town in Ukraine was evacuated in 1986 after the Chernobyl disaster. Today, the city exists exactly as it was left, down to open textbooks in classrooms. Dogs are man's best friend, and this incident from Madhya Pradesh's Gwalior proves the same. According to reports, a dog saved his human from a kidnapping event. No, it's not the plot from a movie. The incident took place in Gwalior's Ashok Nagar when some hooligans attacked Nitin and attempted to abduct him. However, Nitin's dog immediately started barking and attacked the assailants. This left the attackers with no choice but to back off. The entire incident was captured on CCTV camera. It shows the heroic canine, who was a German shepherd, fighting off the group of men to save his owner. Additional SP Pradesh Dandochia told India Today Nitin was alone at home when 5 or 6 men arrived in a white van and called him out. After some verbal altercation, they suddenly started beating Nitin and tried to force him into the waiting van. At this point, Nitin's dog burst out of the house barking and attacked the assailants one after the other. The attackers were intimidated by the dog. The criminals let go of Nitin and fled the spot. An FIR has been lodged at Dadipur police station and police are now looking for the accused. An investigation is underway. Recently, a dog was filmed racing with an ambulance carrying its owner who had fallen ill in Istanbul. The woman's dog at first tried to get in and accompany her to the hospital when the ambulance came, but after being rejected by the staff, the dog decided to follow the vehicle. The unidentified sick woman was reportedly treated in her home while her loyal dog monitored the situation at her side. Eventually, first responders made the call to bring her to a clinic for closer observation.